So the March 2025 Visa Bulletin is out. And guess what? We've got some interesting movement in employment-based categories, as well as some movement in the family-based categories, which wasn't expected at all in March. I'm going to break down exactly which categories didn't move and what to expect in the next few months. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to our immigration channel. In this video, I'm going to break down the March 2025 Visa Bulletin. We've always been waiting for it, and it came out. And guess what? We've got some really, really good news for you, and I want to share them because we have some movement in the employment-based categories, but also quite a few categories moved in the family-based and some categories that are not expected at all. And I wanted to share with you because many of you have been waiting, are complaining, are worried, and I think it's important to track the Visa Bulletin every month as we do. And I want to share with you some good news. As we do every month, we summarize it for you first in writing. I highlight in red what moved, what didn't move. The link to the blog is going to be in the description of this video. And I'm going to break it down for you right now, explain it to you. As I said before, guys, it takes a long time for us to summarize these blogs, to put together the information in a very comprehensive, easy to understand manner. So I really appreciate, and I'm very welcoming that if you're here watching this for the first time, please subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to show this video to more people just like you. All right, guys, let's jump right into the video. So we have a lot of movement, EB2, EB3, and also EB4, and some movement in family-based categories. In terms of the USCIS, they said that they will be using final action dates to determine eligibility for adjustment of status inside the United States. For family sponsored, they're going to be using the dates of filing. All right, guys. So at a glance, as always, employment-based dates for filing, we don't see too many change, but in the final action dates, that's where we see some movement. We can see that EB2 India advanced by more than 6 weeks to December 1st, 2012. EB2 China advanced by 2 weeks to May 8th, 2020. EB2 all other countries advanced by 6 weeks to May 15, 2023. And again, it may look like a little bit, but it is quite significant because if that continues every single month in these Visa Bulletins in April and May, it's going to be helpful for a lot of you guys to be able to advance faster and get your interviews faster. EB3 professionals and skilled workers, EB3 India advanced by almost 7 weeks to February 1st, 2013. EB3 China advanced by 1 month to August 1st, 2020. But the big surprise, guys, is EB3 other workers. I didn't expect any movement in March, but guess what? I was wrong because EB3 India advanced to almost 7 weeks to February 1st, 2013. EB3 Philippines advanced by 5 weeks to January 15, 2021. And all countries advanced by 2 months to February 1st, 2021. That's huge, guys, because many of you didn't see any movement for a long time. And now we see some movement, which means that I know it's going to make it better in the next couple of months. And the reason, again, and I'll tell you kind of further in the video why I feel this is happening right now. And it's a good indication as to what's going to happen. EB4, unfortunately, retrogressed by 17 months to August 1st, 2018. Retrogression means that they are going back in time, means that they have too much demand but less visas to give us. 17 months retrogression is very, very concerning for EB4. And that retrogression could impact other categories as well. Because just because we saw some movement in EB3 now, doesn't mean that it could not go back in April or May. But, that's something that I'll talk about in a second. Final action date is we see F3, married sons and daughters of U.S. citizen, Philippines advanced by 2.5 months to January 22nd, 2003. F4, guys, this is something that hasn't moved for so long. Brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens, Philippines advanced by 5.5 months to October 15, 2004. That's huge because especially this category, especially for the Philippines, was not moving at all. So that's kind of in a glance. That's just a little bit of summary. You can see that we've seen some movement on the employment base. We've seen this movement on the family base. Let's digest the charts as we every month. And we always go into the final action date chart. The final action date chart is the actual chart that will determine when you'll get a green card. If you're inside the United States, you're going to follow the dates for filing chart, which means all that means is that when you can file for your adjustment of status. But what controls when you're actually going to get your green card is the final action dates chart. So EB1 category, extraordinary ability, outstanding professors and researchers. This one is the following. So EB1, the rest of the world, is still current. China remains on November 8, 2022, and India remains in February 1st, 2022. There's no movement there. However, on the EB2 side, we definitely see some interesting movement. EB2 advanced by more than 6 weeks to December 1st, 2012. EB2 China advanced by 2 weeks to May 8, 2020. Whatever is highlighted in red in this summary is the advancement. EB2, all other countries will advance by 6 weeks to May 15, 2023. EB3 India will advance by almost 7 weeks to February 1st, 13. EB3 China will advance by 1 month to August 1st, 2020. All other countries will remain at December 1st, 2022. However, other workers, guys, that's where we see the movement. EB3 India advanced by almost 7 weeks to February 1st, 13. EB3 China remains the same. EB3 the Philippines advanced by 5 weeks to January 15, 2021. EB3 all other countries will advance by almost 2 months to February 1st, 2021. Again, it's only 2 months, but it's huge for some of these people that have been waiting for a long time. And that's an indication something is happening there. You can see backlogs are slowly opening, and the NVC is helping the State Department to push cases forward. That's why you see some movement on the State Department. Some of these posts are hiring more workers, and I feel like we will see some minor movement also this year. Now, before we talked about understanding the retrogression for EB4 and what it means for other categories, remember, guys, if you need help with your immigration matters, all you have to do is send me a text, 619-483-4549, or go to www.immigrationasap.com, leave your details, and one of our team members will help you and do our best to help you push your cases forward, file expedites, file lawsuits, whatever it takes to move your case forward. The Visa Bulletin is just our base. There's much more work that we can do to help you guys move forward. This is one of the most comprehensive analyses of Visa Bulletin on the web. Please support this channel by sharing this video and subscribing. It will mean a lot to me. EB4, all other countries retrogressed by 17 months to August 1st, 2019. Now remember, in the March Bulletin, the State Department notes that it has retrogressed the EB4 final action dates for March to keep issuance within the annual limit because they have high demand. That's the reason. Whenever you see retrogression, that means there's more demand than what they can supply. And so they retrogressed by 17 months to August 2019. The State Department also notes it may be necessary to make this category unavailable in the coming months, possibly as soon as April. That's a big one. When that means unavailable, we don't even have a date. We don't even know when it's going to come back. All right, guys? So that is something that can happen in many categories. It happened before. It happened, 5 years ago in some categories. But, some religious workers, this program originally supposed to expire in 2025. If there's no legislative action extending this, we will be able to see that also unavailable as of March 14, 2025. So that means that after midnight of March 13, 2025, no religious worker visas would be issued overseas or final action takes on adjustment of status in the United States. It's a big crisis, guys. We've got a lot of religious workers from different cultures, different denominations, and that is a big crisis for this particular immigrant visa category. So if the program is extended beyond March 14, the published final action dates of August 1st, 2019 will continue to be in effect until they changed it, but definitely through March. So big announcement for EB4. That is the religious category, and there's a retrogression of 17 months. If you're in that realm, applying for green cards, you guys need to act ASAP. EB5 unreserved. India will remain the same, January 1st, 2022. China is at July 15, 2016. All other countries will remain current. And again, this is the summary of the chart. You can see it kind of more visually. That you can see EB2 May 15, 2023, all the rest of the world advancement, and we can see China advanced, India advanced, Mexico advanced, and the Philippines. The big one is other workers, February 1st, 2021. This is the big one, and also India, Mexico, and the Philippines. So we see quite a lot of movement here, and I think you'll see kind of that movement moving forward further in the year, specifically for EB3, regular EB3, and possibly even EB2. So if you're NIW, National Interest Waiver, and things like that, it will be very helpful for you. No change in dates for filing for employment-based, and everything remains the same. So let's look at final action dates for family-based. This is where family petitions can actually file petitions and get their green cards. F1, no change from last month. F1 Mexico remains the same, November 22nd, 2004. F1 Philippines remained the same, March 8, 2012. F1 all other countries will remain at November 22nd, 2015. Guys, no change in F2A, no change in F2B. F3, married sons and daughters of U.S. citizens, that's when we see the change. Mexico remains at November 22nd, 2000. Philippines will advance by 2.5 months to January 22nd, 2003. And remember, guys, when you see advancement of 2 months in the Visa Bulletin, it's a big one. So F3, all other countries will remain the same. F4 will advance by 5 months to October 15, 2004. This is Philippines. Again, the rest of the F4 category hasn't really moved much, but in this category, it shows you that, some countries' backlogs are evaporating, which means that more and more people could potentially apply later on. But the fact that it hasn't moved for so long in all countries, and one country starting to move forward, it shows that they're slowly starting to catch up, specifically in the F4 category. Date for filing, no change from the previous month. So, this Visa Bulletin brings major advancement, but also retrogression in the employment-based final election cutoff dates. When you compare it to the February Visa Bulletin, there were no changes in dates for filing or cutoff dates. So the issue here is that for family-based categories, F3 Philippines, married sons and daughters, and F4 Philippines, brothers and sisters, advance as well. So what does it mean for you guys? What that means is that the fact that we've seen some of these movements in this Visa Bulletin is actually quite positive. It is positive in few factors. First factor is that categories that we've been waiting for so long, like F4 Philippines, like F3 Mexico, and the rest of the world, the fact that they're starting to slowly move forward means that the State Department is doing something to fight those backlogs, to get more officers into embassies, to adjudicate more cases without interviews. All these things are helping the Visa Bulletin to move forward just a little bit. Now, I know for some categories that haven't moved at all, it is disappointing. F2A, I feel disappointed for you guys as well. I was really hoping that it's going to move forward, but it hasn't. But guess what? We're going to have another new month coming out very soon. For those of you that are in March, take advantage of these movements. If you're a religious worker and you can file cases now, do it. This retrogression is devastating. 17 months, I haven't seen that for so many years. So what that means is that there is a deficit of these visas. And many people are going to try to move to different categories, maybe move out of the EB4 and see if you qualify for something else. The bottom line is that it is not as bad as we thought. I thought we're going to see no movement in March at all. I predicted there's going to be no movement just like February. But guess what? I was wrong. We've seen movement in EB2. We've seen movement in EB3. We've seen other workers move forward. We've seen F3. We've seen F4 move forward. This is actually a positive sign, guys. It is a positive sign that things are waking up. More and more people are going to get visas, interviews from MVC. Next time I do the MVC update, you're going to see this. So overall, it's a good thing. Let me know in the comments what category you're waiting for and how long you've been waiting for. And also what other videos on this topic you want me to make. I'm always listening to you guys, and I will continue to make more of this content for you. As always, if you need help with your immigration matters, send me a text 619-483-4549. I'm here for you. And go to www.immigrationsap.com. Leave your details then, and one of our team members will contact you ASAP. Thanks for watching. Amazing Visa Bulletin this month, and I'll see you in the next one.